Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to another Saturday serving of high octane thrills and definitely spills here in round 3 of the RDC British Porsche Cup Series, sponsored by Vispa. Vispa, a company creating virtual experiences that feel natural, immersing you in a 3D multiplayer work environment where collaborating, brainstorming, and team building are both productive and creative, bringing you the tools to make work as enjoyable as multiplayer gaming. Joining me once again for this evening's broadcast will, of course, be Kane.
Good evening, everyone.
As we bring you another 2 races this week from Donington in the 7-week 13 race, 40 minutes at Spa competition. Of course, we will be going to Snetterton, Oulton Park, and Donington, as well as our drivers battle out to be crowned series champion. Of course, as always, to guide us through and bring the facts and try to keep me in check, it is, of course, the man known on Twitch as Kadas Gaming, and most famously known as Extra Number 3 in the pool hall scene at Alf's Diner in Home and Away. It's Australia's very own Kane Denham. How are you doing this evening, Kane?
I'm fantastic, John. Thank you very much for that intro. That was above and beyond, as always. Fantastic to be here on Saturday evening for the Rapid Drivers Club Porsche Cup Vispa sponsored Porsche Cup. Always great seeing these official Porsche liveries out on track, and certainly going to be fantastic to see them racing around Donington this evening. So, yeah, cannot wait for tonight's action, John.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And speaking of our drivers, Kane, we have some breaking news. Well, we've got quite a bit of breaking news, but I'll let you break the first bit of news.
Yeah, John. So some huge news out of the paddock this week. Seen one of the favourites for the championship this season, unfortunately ruled out. Now I say unfortunately, but I'll have to admit that's for my own selfish reasons, as it was in fact announced that Josh Webster would be getting a chance to drive in the real world upcoming Porsche Super Cup season.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Massive, massive, massive congratulations then to Josh. Parting in such sweet sorrow. Obviously, it is a loss to our competition, but yeah, to get himself a quite frankly well-earned drive for next season, massive hats off to Josh. But that does still leave our grid now wide open, Kane. We've got 20 drivers left on track, and I tell you what, it's going to be fun for the rest of the competition points-wise.
Yeah, John, absolutely. Not even halfway, of course, Spa marking that halfway point of the season. So having a closer look at that table, a name I don't mind calling out, kind of rolls off the tongue quite easily, and you might have to get used to calling it too, John, is Harlan Hatter. So Harlan had a fantastic result last week. He had a 6th place in the first race and a 2nd place finish in that second reverse grid race. So as many of you know, tuned in last week, and he narrowly missed out on that win with Alaric the Alien Hensland coming through in the last section of the track to take that win. So the exit of Josh Super Porsche Cup Webster, Harlan has really skyrocketed right up into 2nd place, John.
Yeah, he has indeed. He has indeed. But he does have his work cut out for him. That is a quick look at the table. The guys are just about to start. We do have some more exciting news as per the race. We are joined this evening by another special guest as well, Kane. Would you like to tell us about him?
Yeah, absolutely. So as one leaves, another arrives. And the sudden appearance this week of a mystery driver in the midst. So after only having a couple of sessions and near no time at all to get their feet in this tricky cup car, this international person of mystery has managed to post the 4th fastest qualifying time. So it really shows the guys over at Rapid Drivers Club aren't mucking around when it comes to attracting some of the best sim racing drivers in the arena. It is, of course, a name we hear in SimGrid world plenty, and I know the Scotsman next to me is certainly excited to be calling the name out tonight. It is John, of course, Trevor Jackson.
It is indeed. Trevor Jackson is joining us this evening, the SimGrid King. He also goes by another name Twitch royalty and a very good friend of another guy that's racing tonight, Pete Greaves, who himself got a sim grid win this week. So well done to you, Pete, homeschool racer. Congratulations. It is Sacame. Tonight we will be joined for both our races, reverse order grid as well, by Sacame. That is really going to throw the pigeons, cat amongst the pigeons, and turn the entertainment on this place up to 11. So absolutely cannot wait as we see the guys finally taking the grid. So we will jump back over onto track. And speaking of the track, Kane, it is Donington, 1931 this track was built, and it really does claim to a sizable portion of Britain's motor racing heritage, being the country's first true road circuit to be built and the oldest that's still in current use. From the classic Grand Prix of the 1930s through to the modern era, the East Midlands venue, it's posed a popular challenge for riders and drivers alike. Kane, give us some stats on the track, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. So it had some 5 changes in total over the course of its history. 2.4 miles, 4 kilometers long at this present setup. We've got 12 corners at the moment. Of course, internationally renowned. Everyone over your side of the pond knows Donington and knows what it's all about. Drivers on track are definitely looking forward to this one. A very fast and flowing sort of track. Going to see plenty of action in this first sector. But yeah, it's not going to be reserved to just that area of track. This is going to be, as always, 20 minutes of absolute belting fun, John.
Yes, it really is. It really is. The guys are on the grid. Of course, we are here for the Vispa-sponsored Rapid Drivers Club British Porsche Cup Series. We do love a mouthful before a race starts. It is a company that understands great ideas and innovations that are never achieved by one single person. It always takes a group of people to create something beautiful. This is why Vispa want to be a real collaboration platform where ideas can be created, evolved and developed to be something more, and that is certainly why they're more than happy, and the Rapid Drivers Club as well. Perfect synergy between the guys. We're just about to see them take the roll and start a full lap here around this 2.4 kilometre 12 corner circuit. Real life, as if the drivers in real life could do it as well as we do. 1 minute 26.5. Of course, these aren't quite full GT3 cars, even though they do have the name GT3 in the title. They're not strictly GT3 cars. They were built, of course, in 2017. And there we go. Someone has lit up their back tyres a bit early there. As we'll have a quick look, we'll see Jackie Harris coming through then. So we do have race number 2 straight after this, which is a reverse order grid of this starting. So it's nothing to do with who wins. The grid for the second race will start in the reverse order that I'm about to give you right now. So the cars that we've got joining us this evening, of course, Jackie Harris, he's going to start in 20th with Chris Davis in 19th. Jason Westaby, he is in 18th this evening with Etienne Mesland starting in 17th. Kyle Harris, one of the founding fathers, he is in 16th position for the start of today's race with Etienne Mesland. In 15th, we've got Johan Tyne, 14th with Elliot Wilkie. He is in 13th position. We've got Ian Hall in 12th. We've got Kieran Clifford. He sounds like a dodgy character. He is in 11th place. We've got Bastolma in 10th. We've got Conor Garrett in 9th. Our sponsor, proudly rocking that beautiful Hublot livery there. He is starting in 8th tonight with Rennie Rendandito. In 7th, of course, he'll be one of the guys taking part in the 12-hour at Bathurst tomorrow. We'll bring you more details of that later on. We've got Sam Sue, TSR Wake. He's starting in 7th, and Harlan Hatter, Kane's one to watch. He's going to start the race in 5th with Volcan, the Volcano Bakadan. He is starting in 4th. Sacame is going to start in 3rd as Aleric Ensland, who qualified in 1st, can't make the race tonight. So our guest driver, he has made it on to the podium to start the race. Will he stay there? Very quick, clean driver. It's going to be so much fun. Alex Nunes has then been promoted to 2nd position. And Tom Davidson in the Telcel livery, Kane, will lead the way as they come into the final hairpin.
Yeah, like you said, John, big news as well that we didn't touch on at the start was the fact that series leader is missing from tonight's race. So definitely a chance for some of these other guys to steal some points there and take their own claim to this championship. So Tom Davidson, front row of the grid. He'll be looking for a better start than last week. It's another track, hard on the back of the field there. Find their way off track. Let's hope they can make their way back for this start.
Yeah, let's hope they can get caught up. If you're in the chat, by the way, say hello. I don't have access to the chat at the minute, but I'm sure Kane does. Say hello, say hello. Get involved, get involved. They're coming along the start-finish straight here then. 20 cars in their Porsche liveries will jump on board with Tom Davison. And any second now, and it's foot's down, flat out, and away they go, and it's an absolute flying start from Nunes up the outside. Jackson's done well as well, but so has Bakkerdan to close that little gap, and Jackson's finding himself under all kinds of pressure. And I'll tell you what, it looks like Sam Su is making a great move, and so, by the looks of it, is Renendito then. Renendito on a bit of a charge, and someone, I believe that is Sam Su as well, is making moves. The lead of the race has stayed very much the same, though, although Nunes is up into second place. Jackson is in third still at the moment. The timing boards go absolutely side by side as the drivers go side by side. Davison and Nunes, Jackson coming up very close, and Harlan Hatter, the one to watch, up from fifth place into fourth. Could it be a three-wide situation this early? They have done a full warm-up lap, so it will be full warm tyres and brakes. And I tell you what, Jackson's got a great run out that corner, and he's left Nunes for dead. They're going to come side by side. Jackson thinks better of it, doesn't want to go side by side there. Race IQ 200 there, but I tell you what, that's given Harlan Hatter the impetus. So these four drivers up the front, sorry everyone at the back, but this is absolutely fascinating stuff. Tom Davison then can't be separated from Nunes, who can't be separated from Jackson. And Harlan Hatter, who we know is very quick, he's definitely going to look to make a move there. He's hanging on into the slipstream, and I tell you what, there's Conor Garrett in the background making charges. I was going to mention him before. He's taken 12 places in this competition so far, and there we see Jackson. What a move up the inside, takes the apex of the corner beautifully, leaves leaves Nunes absolutely out to dry, and Harlan Hatter and Davidson has run off the field. Kane, I can't take any more. Take over from me, buddy.
Yeah, 5 spots now. Davidson's going to lose off that little mistake there, John. Getting a little bit sideways. That Porsche Cup definitely doesn't have some warm enough tyres on there, but from third place on the green, it is, of course, Trevor Jackson. Sacame out in the lead of the race now, so he'll be looking to extend that lead. But what a start, John. Donington not disappointing at all as they head down for the second lap, and this is the trickiest section of the track. Very fast. Going to be very tricky following the cars in front and getting these braking zones locked in perfectly.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. As we see Kieran Clifford then catching a bit of dirt there. We're on board with Pete Greaves at the back. It's all been very clean all the way through. We did see a couple of guys in the warm-up lap lose themselves a bit of time there, but this battle up the front, absolutely phenomenal stuff then. Jackson still defended for all he's worth, and Conor Garrett, Kane, he is up to third place with Harlan Hatter in fourth, Renendito's in fifth. So Hatter then, we thought he was making a charge. Conor Garrett, he said, hold my beer, it's a Saturday night and I'm here to play as well. So Conor Garrett then making absolute sensational moves. As you say, Sacame, no less than we expected, started in third very quickly, made the moves. We see Conor Garrett then, he's going to go side by side with Nunes. So the two of these guys going side by side, then coming into the area where we saw Jackson make the move, the two of them go side by side, and it's a repeat move there. Conor Garrett says to Sacame, you think you're going to steal the show? No, thank you very much. I'm going to perform exactly the same move. And he now gets the move done, so he is up into second place. We've still got a reverse order grid to come. I'm going to need a lie down after race 1, Kane. This is phenomenal driving from these guys in these stunning 2017 Porsche liveried cars.
You're not wrong, and Melbourne hairpin there really turning it on for the passing moves. We know the hairpins are obviously.
In the back. Sorry,
yeah, a little bit of bumping at the back there. Like we say, Conor Garrard up 7 positions now, up into second place. So started that race back in 9th position, John. Massive moves for him. So he's got a great start. 16 and a half minutes to go. He'll be looking to hang on to that.
Yes, indeed. That has got to be one of the greatest starts to a race I've ever had the pleasure to watch. And I'll tell you, the action is not going away anytime soon. These very volatile cars, to say the least, are keeping these drivers well and truly on their toes. And I'll tell you what, Alex Nunes, he is not happy that Conor Garrett has taken that place. He wants that second spot back, if not first. So this is all playing in the hands of Trevor Jackson. Started himself, Sacame, what a move. Third place up to first. Conor Garrett, 7 places to take second. He's got Nunes still battling. Tom Davidson, the man that started in first, down in 4th position. Cornelius Filbinger making great moves as well. He's up to 5th. Harlan Hatter down to 6th position. Kane, looks like it very well might have been cursed to the commentator from your good self. Not to throw you under the bus, but Harlan, it was Kane's fault. Elliot Wilkie is trying to get the move done on Harlan Hart as well. He is very close. We've got Ian Hall then. He is in 8th place with a bit of space back to Kyle Harris, hanging on to a top 10 position. But he's got Johan Ty, Jason Westaby, and the ever-consistent Kieran Clifford tucked right in there in 10th, 11th and 12th. Messland is in 13th with Pete Greaves in 14th position. Volcan down in 15th. Baz Tolma as well, not faring great this week, along with Renan Dito. Those two back down in 16th and 17th position, with Chris Davies running in 18th. Sam Sue down in 19th. Jackie Harris with the Michelin did see him having problems on the warm-up lap, so he didn't quite catch up to the back, and he is running in 20th position. There's still battles all over the field here, as I like to call it, because this genuinely is a massive battlefield at the moment. Oh, as we see a side-by-side with Cornelius then, defending for all his worth. Onto the back. Sorry, is the timing boards needing to update? No, that's Harlan Hatter, so it is. He is defending from Harlan Hatter. Harlan looking to make moves back up the field. Kane, the big loser in all those opening exchanges. We talk about the guys making it up to the front of the grid that are storming off, but Harlan Hatter down to 6th position. And yeah, definitely think he's going to blame you.
Yeah, possibly, John. Not as bad as you're making out. He's only lost the one
a bit
position.
Of contact. That's I need to tell you what, he's avoided it. There we go. So there was a bit of contact between Nunes and Garrett. You can see the driver that caused the contact there, Alex Nunes, understanding that that may have been his fault. Obviously, rear-ended in the braking zone. If you drive into the back of a car, it is your fault. So yeah, Nunes giving the place back. But that has given Tom Davidson in the tail cell. So there we go, Kane. Talk about curse of the commentator. You may well have given it straight back to him, because he has found himself making a little charge back up. So now Cornelius has got to defend from Harlan Hatter and Alex Nunes, so that could be a fairly uncomfortable drive. Well, Harlan Hatter in 4th, we see Tom Davison back up to 2nd place, and Trevor Jackson is way off in the lead, Kane. I was going to ask you a question, but I'm probably going to interrupt you as soon as I ask you it. But there's been some just phenomenal action here.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's slowing down on track. What did I tell you? The drivers, they just don't want to hear you speaking today, Kane. All they're interested is stealing all the camera time. But look at this. So yeah, we've got another driver dropping back down. That is Conor Garrett and Alex Nunes, both suffering from that coming together there, Kane. Not what we like to see, but accidents happen, especially in these cars. The action continues. Kane, you will get a word in eventually, I promise. Renan Dito and Barkadan, mate. These two guys look like they're having a nice little battle for 12th and 13th position here.
Yeah, obviously something we've missed in the opening laps there, John. Renan Dito and Sam Sue down the field quite a way, so maybe coming together from those two saw a little bit of action, but as you say, John, 12, we're 7.5 minutes in. This race is really, really lighting up, guys. Philbinger, Cornelius, let me get the words out properly, has made some great moves too. He's up 3 or 4 positions as well so far. Yeah, Tom Davidson yo-yoing up and down the field there, starting in pole, getting a little bit sideways, swamped by 4 or 5 drivers, and now finds himself back up into 2nd after Nunes and Garrett came together and gave him a free pass through. So Trevor Jackson, of course, the beneficiary of all of this, stretching his lead out in front to be quite dominant.
Oh, and we've got a cracking little battle here. Nunes, Wilkie and Garrett. Of course, Nunes and Garrett came together at the all-action Melbourne corner. I was going to talk about the irony of having an Australian commentator with that corner, and that corner has certainly lived up to its Antipodean forefather here with us in the comedy box. We've seen all the action. Because of the action, Wilkie now sees himself with a mirror full of Conor Garrett and a front bumper plastered with Alex Nunes' rear spoiler. So a great little battle here for 6th position. Wilkie's going to have to go full defend and hold Conor Garrett off. That's going to play right into the hands of Nunes, who is looking to hold on to 5th. Oh, and that's a lot of curb there for Wilkie. Right it magnificently, Kane. That was almost like an Australian surfing the wave beautifully, the way he rode that curb there. Keeps the car settled. Quite get his turning. Oh, and Conor gets very close again. Wilkie didn't quite get his braking so right, turning late. Conor did well to avoid the contact. All action all the time. Harlan Hart's got a drive-through, Kane. Can't take this anymore. I'm done. What is going on? Harlan Hatter, you tipped him. He's got back up to 30. Now he's got a drive-through. And Conor Garrett is going to go around the outside of Wilkie. Conor Garrett Yep, he has got the drag race. He's going to go round the outside into the right-hander, which is going to, of course, give him the apex. Oh, I tell you what. Oh, that was a big wiggle there, Kane, and that has brought Ian Hall straight back into it as well. So Ian Wilkie stealing all the action here, and it could be another all-action lap for him with Ian Hall closing the gap quite magnificently there.
Yeah, what a move at the opening of the lap, John. That's a good way to start. Absolutely, and he's coming up quite quick as well on another drive there.
Alex
Can't quite
Nunes.
make out who
Oh,
that
and there's a bit of a
is.
clip.
Nunes.
Oh, and he's taking the barrier with him. So that could not have gone much worse there for Conor Garrett. Gets caught by Wilkie there, the two of them with the slightest of touch. It shows you just how volatile these cars can be, Kane. They come very close together, and slightest touch, and unfortunately we find Conor Garrett off onto the grass with an advertising hoarding strapped to the front windscreen. That is never really a strategy that's going to do well for a race driver.
No, not what we wanted to see there, John, and just proves the curse of the commentator is very strong within us. There's two
Whoa,
other
Alex
cars.
Nunes! Not all yours,
Yeah,
mate.
so
Yep,
10
all
minutes
yours.
in, 10 minutes in, we've seen pinball cars left, right, and center right now. These guys not giving an inch in this battle at all. Of course, yeah, see that unfortunate drive through for Harlan. He's managed to run foul of those track limits in an awfully short time, unfortunately. That's
Sam
going to
Sue.
see. Yeah, follow on, John. Sam Sue.
Yeah, Sam Sue, they're getting very, very close to Kyle Harris. Kyle did very, very well to hold the brake. He rode very, very, very nearly made contact. I think Sam is the quicker driver. He certainly qualified quicker than Kyle in the events leading up to now, so I would suggest he is slightly quicker, so there could be a definite difference in where the guys brake. Though I'll tell you, we've got another little battle that's cracking. There we go, Renadito. He's looking to make a move on Messland. So these two guys absolutely going at it. Shell versus Madrix. Oh, the Shell's up the inside. Is he going to get the cutback move? Oh, holds that Madrix Porsche absolutely beautifully up the inside. They're going to come into this very tight right-hander. Both of them cut the curb beautifully. Look at the way the cars rock. You can tell these are not GT3 cars. Certainly the way they go over those curbs, that is not GT3 suspension, and these guys do well. I tell you, magnificently well to hold these things on track lap after lap in these 20 minutes races here in the Vispa sponsored Rapid Drivers Club Porsche British Cup Series. And yes, I'm just showing off in Harlan. There he comes. He is going to come in to take his drive through Cornelius, our sponsor, Kane. First few races he has, of course, we're only here for the third week, but it's 2 races a week apart from Spa next week. He was involved in a couple unfortunate incidents. He now finds himself in a podium position with 7 minutes to go. Not a bad move for Cornelius, our sponsor.
Yeah, done some great work in those opening laps, John. Avoided those dramas, or managed to stay away from those dramas this week, and yeah, find himself in a great position. Just a quick hello to the chat. We've got Mort the Mage, aka Simon. Hello, Mort. Jix is in the chat here. We got you Monster as well. Hello, Shroom. Someone tell Tom, who used to telling John things, to get his butt into gear. And also, after all that action, John, we've only just realised that we're actually lacking a little bit of game sound, thanks to Robo.
That's Brian. That's Brian, the restroom server guy. Yes.
Hello.
So there you go, there is game sound. There's always... yeah, so we crack on then. The game sound was missing, but these guys are certainly not missing a beat. We've got 3 guys that have had to retire to the pits. I'm just looking if I can see how far down the board. Harlan Hatter then fell foul at the track limits, and he was a man on a charge. We did see the cut. Oh, I tell you what. There's an absolute cracking slide by Ian Hall to hold that, and Harlan Hatter, he has made a move back up to 7th position. A bit of flickering in the background there. I think there may be some lights coming out. Oh yeah, there we go. It's the guy's headlights in the pit lane. So Harlan Hatter, or is that Wilkie? That is Wilkie, sorry, I'm giving Hatter the credits because the two of them are in very similar liveries. There we go, there we go. So yes, it is just an overexcitable commentator not understanding what it is he's looking at. Oh, I tell you what, there you go, Kane. That is what I've spoken to a couple of drivers about these cars, and they've said that even with these 20 minutes races, when it comes to the end on a track like this, the tyres can get, I think, sketchy is a word that I'm allowed to use. I'm not sure I'm allowed to use any other the nouns, pronouns, verbs or adjectives they use to describe the tyres at the end of the race. But we're certainly seeing some entertaining, tough driving conditions for the guys as we're coming to the closing stage of this race.
Absolutely, and that's what we're here for as well. These guys really pushing these Porsche Cup cars to the limit at every corner. Some fantastic camera angles there of these cars almost hovering above the ground as they throw them left or right around these super corners. So just a quick mention there, John, one of our AM drivers up 5 positions, Etne Mesland, up in 10th position at the moment, so doing quite a job there in and amongst the silver drivers. Of course, we did mention Cornelius. He is our leading silver driver up in 3rd position. And of course, Harlan with that drive through, not really hurting as much as I had anticipated. So he's got that drive through cleared. Did qualify 5th, currently in 7th. With serving a drive through, you'll have to count that as a bit of a win for Harlan. So although unfortunate to have that penalty, he's not going to lose too many points in the process. So good news for Mr. Hatter.
Indeed. Big thanks to RoboPunk. He's pointing out, he says, nice to have those engines going. I thought it was the electric series. So yes, no, it is the full-blooded, when we say full-blooded, Volcan, the Volcano Bacardan. He is going full-blooded. He wants that place back from Pete Greaves' battle for 12th position. Let's just jump on board and watch him go around the outside and jump on the spoiler. Will we see the car? We see it in the background there, Sam Su closing the gap, and there we go back down up the inside. Oh, Greaves gets very close in the Brazilian Brandt livery there. Of course, that livery first came into existence in 1916. He's run wide, and Sam Su then. Sam has sailed through there as well, so the back tyres really giving up on Pete Greaves and Sam Su and Volkan Bakardan, making themselves up 2 places. We've got Ian Hall then. He is still hanging on at the back of Wilkie, so he did lose that place, but he is looking to get it back. We've got Davidson, who is closing the gap, Kane. Less than a second to Jackson. Of course, Sacame, our guest driver, I'm probably going to get shot because he's probably had the least camera time out of anybody here. Apart from those wonderful moves at the start, he has been very much a man that is off and running. But with 3 minutes to go, Davidson is looking to regain his position. Of course, I did say at the start of the race, he was the big loser. He dropped down 5 or 6 places with all the comings and toings and overtaking moves that the drivers were putting on at the start. He's got himself back to 2nd place, Kane. And I'll tell you what, he's got the bit between his teeth, and he is closing on Jackson at roughly 6/10 per lap. And that means we are going to see, not 6/10 per lap, just short of 600ths a lap. Sorry, I'm reading that wrong. Well overexcited there. 6/10 a lap, he'd be in his back pocket by now. So it looks like we could have a battle for the lead to end the race here. So our guest driver did get it off and running, but he might not get it all his own way come the final checkered flag.
Yeah, we might get our showdown finish with the actual leaders of the race for a change, John, always following the closest battles we do. So yeah, Tom Davidson, great drive after the fact. Yeah, 4 or 5 drivers did pass him in a couple of little sideways moments, get a little bit loose, but seems to have gotten that Porsche balance now, and like you say, it's climbed on the back of Trevor Jackson. He's going to be looking to make these final laps something to watch. John may have just
he has, because it was typing. Yep. So we're just following with Ian Hall and Wilkie. Hall is doing really well in sector 1 and 3 compared to Wilkie, so it's just a case of can he get the move done in these closing stages. Still on the track, of course. We've got Baz Toma, Conor Garr and Chris Davies in the pits due to damage. These cars don't repair well. Jem Westerby then is in 17th place with Jackie Harris up to 16th. We've got Kyle Harris running in 15th, so Johan Tai did get the move done there. And there is Johan, as we say, in the Black Falcon are in livery. He's in 14th, sporting some damage on the front, so perhaps suggests why exactly it is he's so far down. We've got Volkan in 13th with Pete Greaves in 11th. Sam Su is currently running in, he's currently running in 11th place with Meslin in 10th. Of course, we just saw that battle between those three drivers. We've got Renandito is in 9th, and Kieran Clifford, another man who's not had any camera time. Sorry, Kieran, that's not deliberate because you're my best friend. He is running in 8th position. You've got Elliot Wilkie in 7th, Harlan Hatter in 6th. We've got Ian Hall running in 5th with Alex Nunes in 4th position. We've got Cornelius currently in 3rd. He's got a battle on his hands here with Tom Davidson in 2nd, and Trevor Jackson, our guest driver, in 1st position. Kane, tell me who we watched to the end here, because I tell you what, Nunes and Filbinger could be the battle to the end, with Davison and Jackson very close as well. Every time we do a race, it always happens on the last lap. We get the drivers coming alive with multiple battles, mate. Phenomenal stuff.
It sure does, John, and these championships awfully do provide those final laps of action. These guys really pushing it. Alex Nunes wanting to make up for some contact earlier on in that race. So, yeah, Cornelius, is he going to be able to hold off and get his first podium of the season? Alex, very, very fast and looking quite impatient behind, John.
Indeed he is. As you say, he came together with, very close there, came together with Conor Garrett early door. Sorry, it's very difficult to commentate on this when the guys are putting on such a show, but Nunes then, Filbinger gets a great run out of that corner as they come into Sector 3. We see the race leaders then just up ahead coming through, and we're going to see Trevor Jackson coming into the last. Of course, Melbourne will take this left-hander. And there he goes. Very, very good drive from Tom Davidson, but it is going to be Trevor Jackson, Sacame, our guest driver, who will cross the line to take the checker flag. Very closely followed by Tom Davidson with Cornelius Filbinger. Oh, Nunes! Oh, he's outbraked himself there ever so slightly. So Filbinger, our sponsor, will take a delighted podium. Well done, Cornelius, but Alex Nunes recovering from that contact. He is going to take 4th place. Ian Hall will take a very proud 5th with Harlan Hatter. Great recovery drive given the early antics. He is in 6th. Elliot Wake, he is going to come across the line in 7th. Connor and Kieran Clifford, he's going to come across the line with a rear mirror full of Renandito, but he is going to hold on to 8th with Renandito taking 9th. Here comes Mesland and Sam Su side by side to take 10th and 11th. And there is Pete Greaves in 12th. Volkan, he's going to cross the line in 13th with Johan Tai in 14th. We've got Kyle Harris, who looks like he has got himself a Jason Westerby issue. No, Jason West. Oh, so that's a blue flag incident. So there we go. So Kyle is in 15th with Jason down in 16th position, and Jackie Harris, our last man on track, is going to finish in 17th position. Kane, what a race that was!
Never disappointing in these short 20-minute races, John. Yeah, huge effort from Tom to claw back after that opening incident, and a little bit of just three-way action. I think there's plenty of things going on in that opening exchanges. So yeah, Sacame, huge congratulations on the opening win, Tom Davidson, and of course Cornelius Filbinger with his first podium of the season, rounding out that top 3. Huge race, John, and it's not going to stop there, because we do have coming up after a short practice session for these guys will be the reverse grid race. So of course Alaric missing, so we will see our man Trevor Jackson starting from the very back grid, and that will of course be one to watch as well. Tom Davidson will be in front, so let's see if he can keep it in front this time and keep those tyres on the ground for the first couple of laps.
Yes, indeed. As Kate was saying, it is another race we have coming for you, and it is a reverse order grid. So we will see the guys starting in reverse order from the original race. So absolutely cannot wait for that. We'll get started. We've got the table on screen just now. The guys are going to quickly jump between servers so that we can get race 2 underway. Let me just get that fixed. It's certainly going to make it interesting, Kane. Harlan Hatter, who you tipped before the race, had a bit of a mare, bud. I mean, we're going about the curse of the commentator, but you done that boy good there.
Yeah, couple of others, John. Just looking at those standings there and looking at those race results, going to see some big changes. So our third place in the championship, Sam Sue, didn't finish the race in the top 10, so he's had an 11th place finish. Got Johan Tyre just behind him. Started quite far back in the field this week with a slightly slower qualifying time than we're used to from Johan, but possibly just a track not his favourite. Didn't finish the race all that well either, so 4th place Johan finishing in 14th the first race, which of course brings us to Cornelius, who had the 3rd place finish, so he'll be the big mover in points from that first race, and he'll also be looking to make up plenty in the second, so plenty of movement after this first race, not even getting to that second race of the round, John, so cannot wait to see the update in the table after this round.
Yeah, indeed, it will certainly be an interesting competition. Of course, we do have the reverse order grid still to come, and if we take a quick look at no, not that one. Kane, what have I done? It was all going so smoothly. But there is the qualifying, for this race. So we will see Jackie Harris start at the front of the grid with Chris Davis on the front row beside him. Jason Westerby and Etienne Meslin will be on row 2, with Kyle Harris and Pete Greaves on row 3. Johan Tyne and Elliot Wilkie will be on row 4, with Ian Hall and Kieran Clifford right behind them. We'll have Baz Tolman and Connor Garrett with Cornelius Filbinger and Rennie Renendito side by side. Sam Sue and Harlan Hatter. That'll be an interesting battle, as we just saw. Volcan will be 16th, where our guest driver Sacame, who won, starting in 17th position, with Nunez Davidson starting in the last 2 slots, obviously with Aleric Enslin not being able to make it for the race tonight. So we will see exactly how this plays out. We do have, of course, the 40-minute race at Spa next week, and while we do have a couple of minutes, we're also going to bring up, let me just
do we race at Spa, do we, John?
Do we race at Spa, Kate? Yes, indeed we do. Indeed we do. Not only do we race at Spa, you lucky people, it will be a 40-minute race. That's right, 40 minutes the guys will be driving these cars around Spa. There will, of course, be a bit of a pit stop now and again. I do imagine the pit lane there is an absolute monster. But that is next week. We are back for this week. As I say, we're at Donington. It is internationally renowned and significant, historically extremely significant. It still holds to this day national, international race events, as well as, of course, most importantly, music festivals. It also claims that I've read the wrong bit again. Sorry, military storage is what it did. Brands Hatch, a lot of the drivers, a lot of the tracks, in Britain these days that were built back in the 30s, you will find they were often used for military vehicle storage. Donington, quite unbelievably, was also used as a prisoner of war camp during World War II, Kane. So there you go. It was revitalised back in the 1970s when it was taken over by new management, and it still today remains one of the jewels in the British racing calendar, Kane, and it really is helping the guys put on a show for us tonight here. Short, winding, twisting track, but an absolute cracker for the boys, and causing them some tyre problems coming into the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, as always, we see these Porsches pushed to the limit, and those tyres absolutely on the limit after only 20 minutes. So, like you said, John, very, very famous track here at Donington. Drivers love it, fans love it. It's always a great place to see some fantastic passes and fantastic moves. These cars really throwing it into everything.
Indeed. And talk about throwing everything into it. the Rapid Drivers Club. Let us all give a special thank you to Jens and Kyle Harris, of course, the brothers. They came up with the Rapid Drivers Club and have brought together this collection of drivers for your viewing pleasure this evening. If you're not involved and you want to get involved on track, of course, the guys are on Discord. So come and say hello to the Rapid Drivers Club. Get yourself involved on track, and you could be on track with Sacame. Took the lead in the first race, held on to it all the way to the end, and took a maiden race win. That one was a lot more difficult to say than you might imagine. We will be back. We've still got 4 more weeks of races to come. As Kane was saying, we've got Spa next week. Oh, just about good. We've got Snetterton, then Outland Park, and we'll be back to Donington. As if once wasn't enough for these guys, we're bringing them back once again. So we will see how they got on the second time of asking. We are, of course, sponsored by Vespa. There's Johan in the pits. That doesn't seem to be working. We are, of course, sponsored by Vespa. They are a company creating virtual experiences that feel natural, immersing you in a 3D multiplayer work environment where collaborating, brainstorming and team building are both productive and creative. They're bringing you the tools to make work as enjoyable as multiplayer gaming, because Vespa understand that great ideas and innovations are never achieved by one single person. It always takes a group of people to create something beautiful, and this is why the guys at Vespa want to be a real collaboration platform where ideas can be created, evolved and developed to be something more, just like the Rapid Drivers Club, an idea started by 2 brothers and now bringing you these glorious Porsches on the track, Kane. And the liveries themselves absolutely stunning, of course, from the Porsche Carrera Cups all over Europe and South America, and yeah, beautifully displayed on track tonight, and some of them just, yeah, absolutely stunning.
Yeah, fantastic job by the RDC Rapid Drivers Club to get these deliveries in use for the Porsche Cup. Yeah, it's always a great display seeing them out there. You see the tailcell of Tom pull over and return to the pits. But yeah, these guys probably just calming down after that first race. Done all the practice they kind of could through the week, so not that many out on track. Most of the guys in the pits just having a little break before coming back and finishing these last 20 minutes. But yeah, what a 20 minutes it's going to be, John. These reverse grids do not disappoint, and I'm sure tonight we'll see no different.
Indeed we will not. It will be an absolutely phenomenal race. Let me just bring up the table once again, and we'll just take a quick look at this, Kane. A quick point analysis shows that the middle of the table, I mean, there's a 14-point gap off up to Alaric Enslin, who isn't racing tonight. Harlan Hatter was the man 14 points behind. The result in the first race is certainly going to make the results in the next one very, very, very significant indeed for these drivers.
Yes, very much so. We say the format that we have with these reverse really throws those points up and gives everyone a chance to get amongst it. So hopefully we could see some of these AM drivers really stick it to the rest of the pack and really try and hold on to their spots up the front, but not always as easy as it sounds. These guys, of course, always pushing themselves to the limit, and it's what we love to see. So the guys sit there on the start-finish straight, waiting for their formation lap. They'll be just as nervous as we are, John, to get this underway.
Yes, indeed they will. Indeed they will. Absolutely phenomenal racing we are about to see. We've already seen some absolutely masterful overtaking from the guys already, and we will see, I am sure, plenty more. We will bring you this any second now. And yeah, so the guys are going to do another full formation lap, then it will be an all-out 20-minute sprint race to get themselves to the end. How far up the field is our guest driver Jackson, starting in 18th position? How far up the field Is he going to get himself, of course, showed in the first race? That's better. He is absolutely no slouch. Tom Davison is the man starting at the back of the grid with Nunes in 19th place. Jackson, as I mentioned, he's going to start in 18th. We've got Volkan Bakırdan. He is starting in 17th with Harlan Hatter. He is going to start this one in 16th. Sam Su, he is in 15th position, and that is not doing that. So Renendito is going to start in 14th with our sponsor Cornelius, fresh from the podium. He's going to start in 13th. Will it be unlucky for some? Hope not. Can he get himself back on the podium? What a drive that would be. Connor Garrett then coming together in the first race. Finds himself starting this one in 12th with Baz Tolma in 11th. And there's Kieran Clifford starting in 10th with Ian Hall in 9th. Elliot Wilkie in 8th. Johan Tyne 7th. Pete Greaves in 6th. Kyle Harris starting up in 5th. How is he going to do in race 2 this week? Didn't do so well in race 2 at Brands Hatch. I'm sure he'll hold it together this week. Come on, Kyle, you can do it. We've got Meslin starting in 4th, and our podium sitters at the moment are Westaby, Davies and Jackie Harris in that beautiful Michelin livery. Not to put you on the spot, Kane, but who's going to finish on the podium? Quick, tell me.
Jackson, Hatter and Davidson.
Oof! No?
Oh, I've just doubted myself. Yeah. No, it's going to be anybody we see up the front there, John. It's going to be well worth the effort made, so can't wait. Gonna see, like usual, I think, a couple of these quick drivers make their way through the field as quickly as possible, trying to get some positions gained early on. So I'm gonna see some passes, but we're gonna see some comings together, I'm assuming, as well. So let's hope nothing major comes of it, and we see some clean racing, but also some hard and fast as well. So cannot wait. The guys just warming those tyres up on the formation lap.
Yeah, getting the tyres warm, getting the brakes warm, of course, the most important thing to do. Get your brakes warm. The heat will radiate from your brake disc out to your tyres, so the guys will very much be jumping up and down on those brake pedals like everything depends on it, because, well, it does. Have a quick look through the field then. These stunning liveries, headlights on, so it is a bit dim for the guys. As you can see next to the guys' names as well, we've got red, we've got grey, and we've got white. Based on your qualifying position, the guys are then split into white, pro, silver, the grey, and amateur are the red. So it's always good to see where the guys, but this can change every week. As I say, this is based on the qualifying for that particular race. So for this race, this is where the guys are spread out. It could very much be different, but there will be trophies, there's prizes for each 3 of the divisions. So the guys will definitely all be going in it as we see them coming around Melbourne. How much action are we going to see there on this race, Kane? I'd guesstimate a fair bit.
Yeah, if we could set up a stationary camera on that corner for probably the first 2 or 3 laps, it's bound to catch plenty as the guys get ready to cross the line and get away soon. Sorry, heading around the last corner there, final hairpin, Goddard's. They'll be rounding the left-hander onto the main straight, and butterflies aplenty. Guys will be nervous, jumping on those accelerators, ready to go, John.
Yes,
take
indeed.
it away.
Any second now, they will be fly out. And there we go, we're fly out. Big moves in the middle of the field then. That's Elliot Wilkie making big moves. Kieran Clifford then has found himself all kinds of swamped. And look at Jackson making the move up the outside. So he's going to make 2 places. He goes 3 wide. No, he backs right out of it then. We do have a 3 wide. We've got a 4 wide. Up near the front. Oh, and the Michelin and Jackie Harris, that's slowed right up. That's going to cause huge congestion there. Cornelius Filbinger does make it through, and Jackson, our guest driver, does well to hold the brakes here. He manages to avoid trouble as we see another car. That is Cornelius Filbinger, so he has caught himself some grass. We see both the yellow cars of Sam Su and Harlan Hatter catching some grass, and it's Jackson then. He is already making huge moves. He's right up on the back of Alex Nunes and Pete Greaves, and he's looking to make life difficult for them. Pete Greaves, in fact, has dropped back, so Davidson has been left in the dust, no less, and Trevor Jackson is off and running right through the field. Chris Davies then is leading the race with Jason Westaby currently in second, but Kyle Harris is looking to close that gap. He's going to need to close it quick. Oh, I tell you what, Meslin's off, so it's Ian Hall. That's Connor Garrett making more moves at the start of the race, and Meslin again involved in another little incident there, so the tyres maybe not as warm. Garrett up the inside And is that him and Nunes? No, it's Johan Tai this time. So Johan Tai didn't finish as well as he might have wanted to in the first race. He's certainly making up for it now, sticking his nose right in there and getting involved in all kinds of battles. There's way too much action going on for me to possibly keep up with him. But Trevor Jackson, our guest driver, and he's just been a three-way recipient of a double dunk. That was cue ball into the corner pocket there, Kane. A flying start from the drivers. Many an incident, and they're still going on at the back of the Melbourne here. Three wide double contact, and we've lost the Blau livery there. I'm not entirely sure who that is because I really can't keep up with track of absolutely everything that's going on here, Kane. Another action-packed opening as they go three wide. Is that Garrett and Ty again? That's Garrett, Ty and Sue that's involved, and Harlan Hatter is coming to stick his nose in there, Kane. He looks like he wants to maintain that position at the top of the lead. Now, well, Eric Enslow's not racing, and he's popping it up the inside of Sam Sue as he goes round the outside. Tries to pop it around Johan Tai, doesn't quite have the run on Johan Tai. He's going to go up the inside of Johan this time though. And I tell you what, Chris Davies is looking in his rear view mirror thinking thank you very much as Sam Sue pops off into the distance. And what a view of the battle behind him he has got, Kane. This is phenomenal stuff from these guys yet again. Unbelievable open lap, and I'm out of breath before we're even through four corners.
Yeah, what a start, John. Guys getting away awfully quick. Couple of little bumps and bruises there for a few of the drivers slipping back. Pete Greaves, big loser out of all of that. Loser quite a few spots there. Jackie Harris as well. Etnay Meslin coming off track, we saw losing out quite a few also. So plenty going on. A couple of drivers just getting their braking zones a little bit wrong in that first.
Davidson, what a move. I tell you what, out breaks Madrix there into that chicane and comes out very much in the lead. That is an absolutely phenomenal move to hold that one there through the braking zone as we see big bunches of cars just up ahead of him there. Chris Davis, of course, involved in that battle with Johan Tai and Harlan Hatter, finds himself dropping off the back ever so slightly as we see the cars taking off towards the Melbourne hairpin. Harlan Hatter then very much involved. Looking to get involved with Sam Sue and Wilkie. Sam will be looking for a bit of redemption after his first race, finished very much down the order, a lot further down the order than we would necessarily expect him. He's all over the back of Wilkie, who had a great result in the first race, and he's looking to continue that with a comfortable top 10 position, currently sitting in 4th position. Sam running a bit wide there, a bit of the curse of the commentator, but he's gathered himself beautifully there, still has the run on Wilkie then. So this battle then for 4th position is going to go through another 4 corners at least. Conor Garrett then is in the lead of the race, Kane. Somebody waking the commentators up. Are they even watching what's going on? Conor Garrett is leading the race. Jason Westaby is in 2nd place with Kyle Harris still holding on to 3rd and holding on to the track for dear life there. That was almost a bit of a mistake that could have been costly there. Wilkie is looking to defend from Sam Sue, who's looking to defend from Harlan Hatter. They've got the tiniest gap back to Johan Tai, who has got the tiniest gap back to Renan Dito, and here we see him, Kane, already in the top 10. Guest driver Sacame from 18th position. He's already up to 9th. That's after being involved in contact. What a drive so far in these opening 5 minutes from our guest driver.
Yeah, putting on the afterburners, absolutely. Trevor Jackson is up into 9th already, John. Only 3 laps, almost 3 laps down. So yeah, huge moves from Sacame, huge moves all over the place. Like we say, Conor Garrett really getting that start he wanted in this race out in front. So let's see if he can steer clear of any unwanted incidents like we saw in that first race. Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing how he holds onto the lead and whether he can hold off this very
So he's got the move done on Wilkie. Wow, he's going for a double move in 2 corners. Doesn't quite have the pace to get Kyle Harris there. I tell you what, he almost got a double move done, and he's left Wilkie to fend off Harlan Hatter. Kane's one to watch before race 1. Kane didn't tip him in race 2, so he's doing really well. I think that answers the question. Does Kane have the curse of the commentator worse than I do? Yes, he definitely does. Please don't throw me under the bus. We see Sam Sue though got the move done. He is chasing down Kyle Harris for that podium position. Kyle, very competent when he keeps his head together. Can he hold on to that podium? It's certainly going to be a big ask with this many drivers behind. And we see that is Harlan closing the gap on Wilkie there. He's going to make a move up the inside, and that's just going to play right into the hands of not only Johan Tai, but we see in the background, yeah, that is Johan Tai just coming into the background, and so is Renan Dito, who's trying to now hold off our guest driver Jackson, and that is just almost like formation Porsche driving there, Kane. Fantastic stuff from the guys getting round the Melbourne Here they come in the left-hander, so all the moves have been in the left-hander, all the crashes have been in the final corner. Not to be this time, but it is up the inside. So Harlan Hatter and Johan Ty battling side by side here. It is a drag race, both men moving exactly. Oh no, there we go. Ty does have the pace then, so he is going to move up the inside here, and Renaldito is closing the gap. He wants no part of the Tom Jackson show. Trevor Tom Jackson? Who's Tom Jackson? Don't know who Tom Jackson is. Perhaps a brother. It's Trevor's brother. That's what it is. He does all these pit stops for him. Is the best I'm going to guess it there, but no, it is of course Trevor Jackson Sacame, who is the man closing on Renaldito, so you can't blame Renaldito for trying to get the move done and catch up to Hatter, but it's to be no. Look at the pace on Sacame there, Kane. How quickly did he close the gap, and how quickly do we think he's going to get this overtake done?
Yeah, a little bit of a wobble in front there. It's not going to help the driver in front hold off Sacame at the moment. So definitely put the foot down, and he's looking to get right through the field early as possible. I say early as possible, John. We're just over 7 minutes through this race already, so only 12.5 minutes left. Can we see Sacame's Trevor Jackson join the battles going on up front, or will we see the field hold off?
Oh, what we do see is a move up the inside, but he's been cut back again. So this is Greaves and Nunes. Oh, we see a spinner in the background. A car spins in the background. I do believe that was Baz Tolma. So we'll see him tumble down the order very, very shortly. But this is Greaves and Nunes. So Greaves and Nunes battling away. Nunes has got the place done, and he is off and running, wasting no time. Dropping Pete Greaves behind him. Pete, of course, in that brand livery. And we've got Sacame there. I'm not sure what livery Sacame is in. I can't catch a sight of the logo, so I'm not sure if I didn't have the file uploaded, but we'll certainly make a point to find out what his livery is as he's chasing down Renaldito. And this battle just up ahead of him then, Kane, is absolutely heating up between Kyle Harris and Johan Ty. Kyle now down to 5th position, so he of course did get gazumped, as we saw, by Sam Sue and Elliot Wilkie, and he's now battling to hold on to 5th with a very racy Johan Ty behind. And tell you what, look, there we go. Up the inside, little mistake by Kyle there, lost the back of the tyres, and Johan says thank you very much, gets it up the inside, and that's 5th position for Johan Ty. And I tell you, that has thrown Kyle to the sharks in the shape of Renaldito and the ever-charging Sacame, Kane. This is going to be an interesting one for Kyle. Oh, and he's side by side, it gets even more interesting. Oh, and a bit of grass there, bit of gravel for Ty. There's Jackson involved, and Renaldito's involved, and there's cars all over the place. I don't think anybody knows who's where. And I tell you what, yeah, up the inside, Jackson leaves a very respectable amount of space, and Renaldito then decided he didn't want involved in Sacame making a charge, and he has got himself to the front of this group of four now, Kane. Absolutely all change all over the place. Sacame then up the inside, a Johan Ty on the apex, and Kyle Harris fights back with the same move, but they are now side by side. They're going to come into turn 1 side by side. No, they're not going to come into side by side. Renaldito then, he has got a great run on Harris, and I'll tell you what, that could compromise his line as I thought. There we go, Jackson closes, and he moves up the inside on Kyle Harris. Fantastic respect shown by Harris, and what a move by Jackson, Kane. This man is on fire tonight.
Yeah, really sticking that Porsche to the ground at the moment, John. Couple of moves done there that take your breath away at the best of times, let alone 10 minutes into this action. So Sacame making huge action, huge moves through the middle. These Porsches all sorts of sideways at the moment, getting pushed right to their limits. Yo-head Ty really closing that gap on Kyle Harris. Getting a little bit sketchy out of the exit of some corners here, John, and giving himself some speed up on the straights following. So yeah, he's losing a bit of time there to the drivers behind, but hopefully he can keep that thing back on and get it back up the field.
Yes, indeed, as we see more action here. Johan Ty thinking about the move on Nunes. They are still alive all over the field, with Davidson, of course, qualified first this week. So started at the very back of the grid. He's looking to get the move done on Greaves in the brand livery again. Up the inside of the apex, of the hairpin, takes the apex beautifully and takes the position. So that's Davidson back up to 10th. If you're in the chat, by the way, everyone, hello. It'd be really cool if liveries were specific to skill class. Alright, okay. Really digging this reverse grid mixed skill. Very cool stuff indeed. Springbuck, how we doing? How we doing? If you're on YouTube, by the way, I don't actually at the moment have hi to the YouTube chat, but I did hear Kane say hi to a couple of people. E-Monster, Johnny Bizzard, I'm sure you were watching, Kieran Clifford, everyone that's watching on YouTube, hello, 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 thank you for watching. If you are on Twitch, give us a hello, give us a hello. If you want to get involved, of course, BRDC, get involved in the racing on Discord, and you can find yourself on track in one of these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Porsche liveries and getting involved in this simply stunning action as we see Kyle Harris then, Kane, in a very, very, very uncomfortable black Falcon sandwich there. He's got a black Falcon to the front and a black Falcon to the left and a whole lot of problems trying to hold on to that car at the minute, catching a bit of dust there. And it's certainly going to be still a great drive. Oh, Samsu making a move for the lead of the race then. Jason Westaby leading the race. He has led the race before in a reverse order grid. Finished in the top 10 when he did, so a great result, but he yields the lead of the race, realises that Sam is the much quicker man. No point battling and potentially putting these tyres off, because let's face it, these guys have got enough problems on their hands with these tyres at the end of the race as is. So definitely don't want to compound that misery. But I tell you what, we've got Ian Wilkie then. Elliot Wilkie, I do apologise, get his first name. Tom Jackson, I'm still confused by that one. Wilkie, he is in third place at the moment. It's a great little battle here, tournament battles here, Kane. Renandito, there's Jackson fifth. Garrett just off the back, he's defending to Nunes, and Kyle Harris is still defending to Johan Tai, with Tom Davidson eagerly watching in the rear. We've got Harlan Hatter, he has just got the move done then. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying Baz Toma there on my screen. We've got Pete Greaves, who has just been overtaken then by Harlan Hatter. That's really confusing me there, I do apologise. Cornelius Filbinger, something that's not confusing, of course, is Cornelius Filbinger. He is our sponsor. Drive-through, Kane, we've got a drive-through before we can even get through the drivers. We've got Kane Clifford in 14th, we've got Ian Hall, he's in 15th, we've got Messland in 16th, we've got Volkan in the bad books, he's got a drive-through, we've got Jackie Harris in 18th, and Chris Davies down in 19th position. Sam Su is in the lead of the race, he is off and running, but Alex Nunes and Connor Garrett, they look like they're about to have themselves a nice little battle, and so does Elliot Wilkie. He is charging down Jason Westaby, Kane. Sorry, once again, this has just been an entire hour of me saying things and asking you questions and then cutting you off and finishing your thought process, mate. But Wilkie, Renandito, Jackson, Westaby, this is absolutely coming to life. We've got 6 minutes left and it is going to be all change all over the track as we come into the closing stages here.
Yeah, Donington not disappointing, like we said, John. Really turning it on. 6 minutes left, and these drivers at the front and in the middle awfully close still. So still got 6 minutes. These guys are going to be sizing up where they can make their move and see how many positions they can still gain. A little bit of action missed through all of that was, of course, Connor Garrett leading the race, finding himself down in 9th position now. Maybe coming off the track a little bit there. We did mention Volkan back then with that drive through, so that has been served. He's back out on track now, so track limits there proving a problem again for some of the drivers. Yeah, 5.5 minutes left, John. These guys still almost in single file at points through the track, so I'm sure there's going to be plenty of things to see and catch in these last couple of moments.
Dear, I think we just caught Alex Nunes power slide round that entire corner there. That was fantastic stuff. We will definitely be clipping that for the highlights reel. Another highlight then, Davidson. He is involved in this little battle here, of course, with Garrett and Ty. Oh, and there goes Ty. Because of the commentator, Ty has been dropped from the battle then. And I'll tell you what, that has given Harlan Hatter an extra place. So the man that is currently at the top of the championship, because Enslin is no longer with us, or wasn't with us for tonight's racing, sorry. He is making himself back another place. Can he catch up to Tom Davidson, who of course qualified first for this competition tonight? So he started at the back of his here. He finds himself in 10 still. Intently watching the battle ahead of him, where Connor Garrett has just taken 8th place. He's still hunting down Kyle Harris in 7th. Nunes is in 8th, and Trevor Jackson then still getting involved in all the action. He finds Renandito and Westaby. Westaby did lead the race for a point. He's been overtaken by Sue Wilkie and now Renandito, and it looks like Sacame is going to make fairly short work of this as well. We'll jump on board. Great view there from his car. See how much the steering wheel and the accelerator pedal is going there. Absolutely hanging on to these cars very, very close indeed. See how close he gets, how much extra pace he got to the corner. Puts up the inside. Westerby says no thanks. He is closing that door, and that has let Alex Nunes straight into the back. And when they say straight on the back, Alex Nunes is literally on the back of Sacame's car. There is no space between these guys coming in this corner as Sacame looks to dart up the inside into the chicane. And I tell you what, Nunes race IQ 200. Oh, and Westerby's lost it over the chicane, and that is going to be 2 positions lost then for Westerby. So Jackson still on the charge with Nunes going to take the apex as well, leave Westerby out to dry. He's going to get a great run up the middle. I tell you what, Nunes has closed the gap on Jackson as well, so he will be looking to hang on there. So our guest driver Sacame taking full advantage of every opportunity that's been afforded him here. He won at the first race and he's back up to 4th position in this one, Kane. Stunning drive yet again from our guest driver Sacame, and a marvellous addition to this competition.
Yeah, absolutely, John. And a section we've seen plenty of moves made through the starts at Fogarty S's there. The guys get good exit through there, can make that move into Melbourne hairpin even easier. So plenty of action there, and then if it's not done, we've actually got another hairpin just up the road at Goddard's for the main hit straight, Wheatcroft straight. So plenty to see in those stages as Nunes really closing that gap, not letting Sacame's name get to the better of him at all. But yeah, guys out in front, Sam Sue making a very good second race after that first one. Not living up to his potential again, but yeah, really making the most of it in this second one, John. Alex Nunes, yeah, really putting Trevor under pressure here.
Yeah, he really is. He really sort of completely interrupted your train of thought as well. Again, I was going to say, Alex Nunes, yeah, like you say, plenty of respect on the track, but no respect for the Sacame name. He is all over the back of him here. So Jackson then, he is going to do more defending than attacking here, which is certainly going to slow his progress. But when I say slow his progress, he started in 18th, he's now in 5th. So a fantastic drive from that man. We've got Renadito then, as we say, and he is currently sitting in the podium position. He is closing ever so slightly on Wilkie, and Jackson was closing up on Renadito until Nunes started popping his. Oh, and Nunes loses the back of it. And until Sacame catches himself some grass. So the guys are trading corners, trading blows, and trading slight mistakes as well. Sacame looks like his mistake cost him a lot less time than Nunes did, and I say a lot less time. Oh, Sacame then, he does run wide and reciprocate the mistake that Nunes made, and Nunes is going to go up the inside. What a move by Nunes, and we did say these tyres towards the end of the race were causing problems for these drivers, Kane, and it's certainly causing nothing but entertainment for us in the closing stages as these guys battle out for 4th place.
Yeah, the final minute of the race, John, never disappoints as always. Alex Nunes, like you say, and Trevor Jackson trading places there. One makes a mistake, the other passes, and then gets it closed again. So all sorts going on there.
Yep. Moves Renadito around the outside. Wilkie's lost it, and Renadito's had to cut the curve. So both of them, because Jackson and Nunes, they're going to pop their nose in there. Jackson surely isn't going to hunt down a podium position here. Is Sacame going to get back on the podium, Kane? This is too much to take. The two guys on the apex. Renadito has been dumped, and Wilkie has now got himself some serious rear wing problems. And the problem is, rear wing is, Kane, he's got 3 very quick drivers attached to the back of it, and it's certainly not a position I'd relish be in, but I'm telling you, this is unbelievable viewing for the end of the race, and I can't wait to see how this one finishes. With Renadito getting dropped off the back there, so Jackson is on a podium position. Dare he believe at this point, we're on the last lap, Kane, could we see Sacame get 2nd place in the reverse order grid?
We quite possibly could, John, as the guys head off on their last lap. Heading through the first sector here, all important to get this one right, and he closes that gap. Huge closing that gap there, so he's definitely going to be looking to get this done early and get out of the way, leave the battling for the rest of them to finish this race. But yeah, Sam Sue out in front by just over 5.5 seconds, John. Huge race from him. These guys nose to tail as they head around.
Oh yeah, they really are nose to tail. Sam Sue, of course, is in the lead of the race. Sorry Sam, I'm sure it's been glorious. He's 5.5 seconds in the lead, but the battle remains here for 2nd place. Nunes then has dropped slightly off the back, so that's given Jackson that little bit of breathing space. Can he make the most of it? Can he get on the back of the block? Also saying that, Nunes wonders on the break. What a move by Nunes. He's going to come up the inside and absolutely put the moves. Will we see another overtake in Melbourne corner? Garrett has got himself a drive-through on the last lap. What are you guys doing to me here? And Renadito, he's come right back into the battle. So Wilkie has now got to be the uncomfiest man on the track at the moment. He has got Trevor Jackson right in behind him as they come round the last corner. Is he going to hold on? He is indeed. Nunes, can he get around at the last corner? He is going to do it. Sam Sue, we're really sorry, bud. You won the race. Congratulations. Well done on taking the reverse order grid. Elliot Wilkie, well done on second place. Trevor Jackson giving us the 360 and a podium in race 2. Nunes, what a race to finish in 4th. Renadito in 5th. Westaby holds on to take 5th. The Harlan Hatter, a great finish. He is going to take 7th place with Johan Tai in 8th. Bang, into the wall he goes. Love to see it. Tom Davison giving some donuts as well. That's it, lads. Get the foot down. We've got Cornelius Philbins, our sponsor. He's in 10th. With Kyle Harris, he's come over the line in 11th position, with Greaves finishing in 12th. Kieran Clifford bringing it home in 13th place, with Messland finishing in 14th. Jackie Harris in 15th. We've got Davies finishing in 16th, with Backerdan finishing in 17th, and Ian Hall unfortunately not being able to finish the race. Kane, say something till I catch my breath, please.
John, what a finish to this round's races. As always, I keep saying, can't stress it enough. 20 minutes reverse race grid does turn it on. Kyle Harris turning it on there. Got all sorts of donuts for us on screen as well. So Sam Sue will be delighted with his first win of the season as well. With a fairly dominant lead in the end. Not helping, obviously, behind him, everyone battling it out for that second position. So Sam having a fairly relaxed finish to the race, which I'm sure he was all the more happy for. But as we said, John, Elliot Wilkie holding on to second position, so massive result for him as well, with Trevor Jackson, our guest driver this week, coming in at third position. So huge job from him. 18th, moving up the positions, get into third with no shortage of action between him and Alex Nunes as well. Alex really putting him to the sword all the way to the end. So huge action, John. Hopefully you've caught your breath.
Indeed.
Yeah,
phenomenal stuff. 2 lessons to be learned from tonight. In fact, 3 lessons. Donington will always provide you great racing when you throw these Porsches on it. Secondly, never count out Jackson. Wow, Sacame, what a drive. And thirdly, 1 pint of water is not enough to commentate on 2 20-minute races when there's this much action going on. That was truly incredible, and an absolute honour to be on the microphone to call that for these guys in the Vispa sponsored Rapid Drivers Club British Porsche Cup Series. Yeah, Kane, an absolutely phenomenal week once again. And after those 2 action-packed races, it is Spa next week. We tally the results for Spa next week, and we'll look forward to Spa next week, and of course the rest of the competition, Kane.
Yes, indeed, John. I think we may be at Spa next week, and
Hurrah!
I think it may be a 40-minute non-stop action race, John. So not only are you looking forward to that, I'm looking forward to that, and you guys watching should also be looking forward to that. With Snetterton, Alton Park, and Donington, we will be back. Big reason, obviously, why we've made two returns to Donington track. Always turns it on. So we'll also be returning to that 2x20 minute section of races. So yes.
Yeah, indeed, we will. Our intrepid drivers will return. Will we see more podiums for Jackson, for Wilkie? Will Aleric Ensland return and take top spot? The only way to find out, Well, that's live here next week. Thank you once again to the Rapid Drivers Club for putting on an event and bringing these drivers together. Thank you to Vispa, our proud sponsors. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone that said hi in the chat. Thank you to everyone that went over to Discord and joined the Rapid Drivers Club so you could join in next week. Thank you, of course, to Sacame, our guest driver who put on an absolute show. And thank you, of course, to my Antipodean co-commentator, Kane.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, John. And I'll echo those thanks as well. Rapid Drivers Club, fantastic place to be racing. So yeah, anybody wanting to get in on this action, head on over to the Discord and set yourself up there. As always, massive thank you to our sponsor Vispa. Service you provide is fantastic. So as well, get on over to that. Thanks again to our drivers, Sacame. Fantastic seeing you out on track. Can't wait for next week, everybody. Get it on.
Indeed. It is going to be good. So yes, I'm off for a very stiff coffee and a large glass of water. I'll see you all next week. So say goodnight, Kane.
Good night, Kane.
And good night from me. Stay safe. See you next week. Goodbye.